Okay, so this video is going to take a look at the overall organization of Blackboard, and your left-hand toolbar is going to be your friend. You're always going to land on this announcements page, and you've got a link for your textbook. You've got a link for your syllabus, which we looked at in the last video. The announcements page, if you've navigated away from it, you can come back there. And then everything else is going to be on the course materials page. And so this is where you're going to navigate for everything else for the course. So if we click on that, what you can see right now are the first two folders, and then other work that is, that your study guides are here and your paper assignments are here. Other things will appear as we get to that point on our calendar. So right now, you can, when you're probably watching this, you actually can only see the orientation to our course, and then on Monday, the Introduction to Psychology and Psychological Research will open, because I'll want you to start focusing on it now. And so, and then 2 weeks from now, our biopsychology chapter will become visible on the day that we start that. Exams will become visible when it's time for the exam. So things appear as they're needed and as they're relevant. So let's look at the organization, right? So you're going to be in this course material page. You're going to have these folders. Each one represents a different chapter. And then you'll have these little pages that show assignments or other things. But let's look at the first chapter together. You'll see that every chapter is going to have the big title across it and tells you what it is. And then right underneath that will be the dates that it's open. So this opens on the 24th, and it'll be available until February 6th. And then the list here shows you very clearly like what your reading is for that chapter, that there's going to be lecture videos to watch, that you have a quiz due on the 27th, that you have discussion prompt and Muddy's Point's initial post, so on both forums, right, by the 30th. Excuse me. And right, so you see all of this, including an optional extra credit that's due on the 6th. So let's click on here. And you can see that within each folder, you've got learning outcomes, what I expect you to be able to do by the end of this chapter. You have lecture videos that I've created, so similar to this video that you're watching now. There'll be videos of me talking about content and helping to explain things to you. There are lecture slides to download if you want. So the slides you see in the background of those videos, that you can download static copies of those if you want to make notes on them, for example, or study from them. And then the quiz for chapters 1 and 2 is there. You can click on that. It'll start the quiz. And then the discussion prompt and the Muddy's Points with an explanation of what you're focusing on for those. And then the optional extra credit assignment that has the due date on it. So so this is what every single chapter will look like. And so you should get pretty familiar with this pretty quickly. Come back here, course material. You'll also see that, for example, article submission for paper assignment due to 220. There's a link to the actual paper assignment instructions that you can take a look at. And this is exactly where you'll download, or upload rather, your paper. So this is upload your peer-reviewed article here by 220 for my approval on 30 points. You're always going to be attaching it. You attach material to these the same way you would attach something to an email. You're going to want to attach a docx or PDF files. Those are the only ones I can interact with in Blackboard. If you attach a Pages, so if you have an Apple computer and attach a Pages document, I'm not going to be able to view that. And then you'll get a reply back from me saying, hey, there's been a problem with your submission. Typically, if you get a 0 on anything, always look for the comment from me, because typically if you get a 0, your feedback's going to say there was a problem with your submission and this is how you need to fix it. It is almost never the case that you've given me work that earns a 0. Even if it's not great work, it's not typically going to earn a 0. So a 0 usually means there was a problem with the submission, and then you'll look for feedback from me to explain what that was. You do also have study guides for every exam. Tells you when the exam will be, but the study guide is a nice thing to access early on. It's a good place to take notes as you go through the material. It's good to it's a good place to kind of take a look and say, I'm not quite sure I understand this. Let me put that in the Muddy's Points forum. So So those are good to know now. All right, so I think that's it for this video. There'll be one more video where we'll look at paper 1 together, so you know how to get started on that. Okay.